Hello and welcome to 3DO Sounds. It's time for a different video. It's not a tutorial, but it's something that I just discovered and called Vital. What is a synth plugin or wavetable? And I'm personally not a sound designer or musician, but this video is more about showing you why field recordings are so important. Why field recording is actually a base if it comes to sound design, if it comes to music production, because that's what we're doing. We're recording all these sounds all over the world. And when I watched a tutorial from In The Mix and Venus Theory, it really got my attention when both of them talked about that you can actually use your own samples. And then I'm like, hold on, my own samples, meaning my own field recordings. And that's what I want to show you with this new wavetable, what you can do with your own sounds that you have recorded or that you might have already, maybe from Bandcamp, the full discography or the all-in-one bundle, so you can do so much. It is not a sponsored video, we are not affiliated, so please enjoy watching this video with me, how I try to get some really interesting sounds with the field recordings that we have recorded all over the world. Enough talk, let's start. Vital is open, here we go. So you can just hear this very basic synth. And this is something that we don't want to use because we want to use our own sounds. And what I have prepared is, here when I was in Japan, I recorded this sound. So this is at the train station. Now what I'm doing is, I'm using this ambience and then I see what I can do with it. Let's do it. And what I love about Vital is that you see everything. I'm going to explain a little bit more, but this one, I just love it. Now let's see how just the shape of the Japan inside Tokyo train station sounds like. It's also just this pure sound, and that's what I love. I love using my own sounds to recreate something completely new, and that makes the all-in-one bundle or the full discography on Bandcamp a goldmine, because you can use our sounds and then recreate, and you can also resell them, and that is something that makes Vital so vital. It's just insane that you can just use your own samples and then recreate something completely new. So now I'm just playing around and see where it goes, because that's what it's all about. It's just exploring and seeing where it leads me. And now what we're doing is we can change the pitch here. But what I love is using the random. So we punch in the random. Now let's see what happens. Already, if you think about, well, what could that be? It's like this kind of like electronic, kind of robotic, and then we can also change the pitch again. And it's already starting to become kind of like a melody, and if you see on the right side the envelopes and the LFO, this is something I want to show you later, but this is, you can really shape the sound. Each single sound, you can just shape it to whatever you want. So now what happens if you use something else? And that's so cool. You can just open this one and then there's another tone. So what should we punch in? Let's do some electronic fields. First, just listen to electronic field here. Now I punch this in, now they working together. Sounds like an old computer game. And now let's click here on effects. This is fantastic. Here in these effects, again, it's a free software. Now let's punch in a little bit of more reverb. What is if we put in the compressor? Things getting a little louder. Again, we're using field recordings that we recorded all over the world. Nothing that we're using right now is already inside the Vital. But later on I want to show you some presets, and if you're a beginner, right, like me, you can also use the presets. and then you can change within the presets the sounds that we're using. We're gonna get to there. But now let's go back to this here. Also here on my keyboard I can change the octave. Can go higher. Or we can go lower, all the way to the bottom. Oh, now it's getting a little darker. What is if you change another accelerator? What could we put in? Let's see this one. This is cool. Listen to this. This is a horn sound that I recorded in Vietnam when I recorded all these trains, and it's so cool, you know. I always remember the sounds that I have recorded, and then when I punch this in here, see what we can do with it. This is just my favorite here. Just very basic. Now, what happens if we turn this on? You read white noise, right? So this is where you can punch in sounds like rain sounds, waterfalls, underwater sounds. I have an incredible preset, I'm going to show you this, but what happens if we change this to a waterfall? Just listen to this, what we have as a preset. Sounds kind of scary. And that's the thing here in Malaysia when I recorded some waterfalls. That's a pink noise, it's a white noise. What happens if we punch this in? Oh. Now you think, that sounds like nothing, right? But it is actually a complete new sound. You can create everything out of it. What happens if I use another free plugin like the Valhalla? Valhalla Supermassive it's like a secret weapon. Listen to this. This is my favorite. And again, we can shape everything. Oh, wow. You can see I'm not a sound designer, but by knowing I'm just using my own recordings here to create these wide open spacey sounds with a software that is free. You can buy it for $80 and then you get even more wavetables with it, even more presets. And that's another thing. There is a community out about Vital. You can find thousands of presets, and that's what I want to show you now. And that is probably one of the most exciting parts of this software, the presets that it's already come with. If you click here, you have all these presets. And if you're a beginner just like me and you just want to play around, let's just use one to give you an idea here. And if you're wondering what is these envelope, LFOs, believe me, if you watch one of these tutorials from for example, In the Mix or Venus Theory, then they explain everything and also what it means. But what I love is what you do in here is also what you see. It's just hit one note on the keyboard. That is what I mean. You see everything. If I click here, and then you can change everything. These presets is all changeable. Imagine we hit a key and I want to change this here. You see? you change that. You could do whatever you want. You can click this other envelope and you make it longer. For example, sustain, so then it's even longer. Whoop, let's see how this sounds like. Takes a little longer to come in. Could just play around with this for hours. But now what I want to do is, and it's probably one of my favorite presets, we're going to use a preset and then we exchange these sounds that are already coming with the software with our own recording. So let's do this. And one of my favorite presets is, let's find it really quick, the float chord. Here we go. Just listen to it, how it's completely set up here inside Vital. It's fantastic, you know, I get goosebumps. And when you see here in the last one, you can really see the instrument playing. So these sounds are actually original sound, and because it's calling float, I want to exchange this part with underwater sounds. But first, and I just do it randomly, so nothing is prepared, I just have my sounds and we just exchange these sounds here with the one that we already have. I just love the 3D, because then I can really see what's going on within the sound file, and this is just great. And again, it's a free software. Oh. All right, so what we're doing is we just, let's see, we want to have the electromagnetic field in the first one. To see if there's already a change. Now we're changing the basic shape for, let's say we're using the sound from Vietnam, putting it in here. Oh. Oh. So what we can do is let's change the pitch. And that's so beautiful. You can, while you're changing the pitch and you stay on the key, you can really hear the difference. And that's just so beautiful. Like what you can do with sound, you shape the sound, but it still sounds so natural and not just artificial and weird. It is, it's fantastic. And then when you do this, then you can start changing all these envelopes and all these LFO to how you want to do it. So now let's change the basic shape into the pigeon wings. Why not? Since we know that the main sound is the instrument, right? This cling-a-ling-a-ling. But what happens if we change this into the underwater sound? Because it's like float. So if it calls float, let's make it float. Let's make it underwater. Let's see. Now wait a little bit. It takes a little bit to change because it's a longer file. And I do have to say, I have these files in 192 32-bit. You don't have to do this. You can downsample this to 96, 24, or even 48. But I experienced other programs, they crash when I have these higher files that have higher quality, but the program, it crashes sometimes here within Ableton. I experienced this, but some programs don't even load higher files. So let's see how it sounds like right now with the underwater sounds. I really hope you enjoy watching these videos and it gives you an idea of why field recordings are so important, and also why the all-in-one bundle or our full discography on Bandcamp is such a goldmine for sound designer or music producers. Now, if you want to support our channel, then feel free to go to our website or go to our Bandcamp account. You can buy either the full discography, you can buy any kind of sound library that you're interested in, or you can just start using our high quality but free sounds that we have all available either on our website and also on Bandcamp. If you want to support us through YouTube, we have another way. We enabled the membership here on YouTube, and what I can give you is all the sounds that we just listened to. I'm gonna include them in a small package and I will send them to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in our next video.